Hello everyone, my name is Kinetic and welcome back to Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. I've got a brand new Crusader build, Swift Justice I like to call it, hot off the grill from patch 205, just came out today, and it's a really nice patch for Crusaders. They made some really interesting changes to a lot of different things. They reversed some of the nerfs, they made some new ones in a couple of areas, but overall a really nice patch for Crusaders. And what I noticed right from the beginning is the possibility of making one-hand weapons actually viable for Crusaders. Up to this point, I'm pretty sure that almost everybody was looking at two-hand weapons as the default weapon of choice for Crusaders. But after this patch, they are much more viable, I think, thanks to two passives that I took notice of. What you're actually looking at right now is my old build, and the new build is a modified version of my old build. So there's a lot of things that are similar here. There's almost no gear changes and even very few actual skill and passive changes. First, let's take a look at the gear really quick. This is exactly what I had on before the patch. This was a two-hand weapon and all these other things. If you see my videos, you know what gear I'm wearing. Now, the only thing that changes here, the only thing, is instead of a two-hand, we got a single-hand weapon. This is a really sweet one-hand flail right here. Swift mount doubles the duration of steed charge, and thanks to Blizzard reversing the nerfs that they made to the duration of steed charge, I get 6 seconds now with swift mount riding around on my horse. Really fun stuff. But that's not actually part of the build. That's just something I like to talk about because it's fun. Anyway, let's take a look at the actual build, right? This is the build that I had on before: Justice Phalanx, Fist of the Heavens, Bombardment, Shield Glare, and Akrat's Champion. Actually, sorry, one thing, I was using Rally before, not Prophet, but because of the changes that they made to runes, I'm actually using Prophet now. But anyway, for the most part, this was the old build, right? With Heavenly Strength, Finery, Lord Commander, and Righteousness. And what really fascinates me about this new build that I'm making is that not only am I not using Shield Glare and the Zealous Glare rune to get Wrath back, I'm not even using Righteousness. That's what really surprises me about this. Instead, what I'm using is Fervor, which has changed a lot. While wielding a one-handed weapon, your attack speed is increased by 15% and all cooldowns are reduced by 15%. Really good stuff. And obviously, since we're using a one-hand, we don't need the two-hand Heavenly Strength. Instead, this gets changed to Fanaticism. Increases the attack speed of Punch, Slash, Smite, and Justice by 15%. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on, and that's it. I mean, I'm using Prophet because I'm running higher torments, and it's a really great way to avoid death, of course. We've got the Indestructible passive, but this is the new build that I'm running with right now. Almost hardly any changes, just one weapon change, a couple of passives, and what we get is something really nice. It plays almost exactly the same as the old build. I'm throwing out a lot of Fist of the Heavens, laying down a big blanket of electric damage all over the place, and with those fissures bouncing the electricity around like that, it does good damage. Even with the nerf that they made to that arc lightning damage, it's actually still pretty good. But the real highlight of this, right, the big deal now for my Crusader in this build is the attack speed. Check this out. That is awesome right there. Let me just compare that with the two-hand weapon. That is the old. That's the old attack speed. Right? Now let's quickly go back so you can see one more time the difference. That's a serious increase in attack speed right there. And that's the reason why I don't need the Zealous Glare with Shield Glare, and I don't need Righteousness, because as fast as my Justice now is hitting, my Wrath fills up very quickly. Let's take a closer look at my details. I've got a 42.8 attack speed increase. There's some other attack speed bonuses on my gear. My crit hit chance is at 50% and crit hit damage is at 221. I think that was higher before and it's gone down a little bit, but really not that big of a deal. I'm still doing really good damage overall. Now, the way that I tested this build versus the old version was I went up against Asmodan here in the Corv area on Torment 3, and I timed it. It took me, with the old build, it took me about 50 seconds, 50.23 seconds to kill Asmodan. With the new build, with this Swift Justice one-hand flail build, I killed him in 46.14 seconds. So that's about 4 seconds faster with this new build than the old build. And 4 seconds might not seem like that big of a deal, but when you're running through a big area, when you're doing things like bounties, when you're doing rifts and stuff like that, 4 seconds, those bits and pieces of time certainly add up for you and your party to be moving through, tearing through demons and getting things done much faster. And while both of these builds are certainly definitely good against single targets like Asmodan, I think that, especially the way I play it with Fist of the Heavens, this really shines in big groups. When you have just tons of enemies surrounding you, or even in a single path like this, you know, laying down a bunch of these Fist of the Heavens really lays down a nice blanket of damage to hit lots of enemies, and it's great. And I think your party members are also going to appreciate you now using Valor, Laws of Valor more. I mean, I've had a couple of people say to me in my old build, why aren't you using Laws of Valor? And I'm like, I don't know, because it just doesn't fit with the way that I had things built. I really needed that combination for it to work, and it was working very well. This is a lot more fun for me. I mean, the attack speed just, it makes it, I don't know, it makes this build feel more exciting. It really does. I love the attack speed. Let's see if we can find some enemies around here. There you go, you can see some damage numbers. The way that Fist of the Heavens actually works now is more about the initial impact damage. That right there. That's gone up. The arc lightning in between now is dealing less damage, and those sparks that come off are also dealing less damage. But that initial impact is what they wanted to kind of help differentiate between Fist of the Heavens and Blessed Shield. Blessed Shield is, I think, from Blizzard's design perspective, more about hitting multiple enemies than Fist of the Heavens is, but certainly with Fisher, it's really good stuff. As you can see, the lava pool activated underneath there. I've got my Hellfire Ring, thanks to my clanmates Garen, Corey, Shadow, and Panda for helping me farm keys and stuff like that. We've been having a really good time doing that stuff together, trying to get everybody hell-fired up in the Nephilim Bastards clan. To my surprise, they actually buffed the Phalanx Bowmen as if they weren't powerful enough. Now these guys are really tearing through enemies. Now I'm actually not using Swift Mount as my one-handed tool. I'm using Darklight. You guys might remember this because I've shown it off before in my demonstration video when I was talking about Fist of the Heavens. I talked about Darklight and its awesome secondary. Fist of the Heavens has well, according to this one, a 59% chance to also be cast at your location. This is how I save even more wrath with this build. Of course, you don't need this for this build, but just being able to do that little extra cast like that is really good. I mean, after all, Fist of the Heavens does cost 30 wrath, so having that wrath discount with Darklight certainly does help. I remember somebody commenting when I first showed off my Fist of the Heavens build. I had specifically said at the time, I was like, you know, I don't really want to spam Fist of the Heavens all that much. And then in the comments, somebody was like, why don't you spam that? Now I am spamming it quite a lot, actually, thanks to the really nice Wrath regen with the rate of attack that I'm dealing. I can spam it. I mean, overall, with how my build, my gear, and things like that have grown over the past few weeks as I've been farming and gearing up with my Crusader, running rifts and stuff like that, it's really gotten to the point that I can use Fist of the Heavens as that reach out to snipe somebody low health kind of thing. Oh, he was well dead before that bombardment game. I really like the way bombardment falls now. It's not like this kind of slow progression of hits. It's really swift and very hard hitting, just as it's always been. That's all I got for you guys in this video. I hope that you give this build a try. Come back here, give me some feedback, because I want to know what you think. Are single hand weapons now viable with Crusaders, or do you think that this is nothing compared to what you've seen other builds with two-hand weapons do? Do you prefer two-hand weapons? Are you more interested now in single-hand weapons? I want to know all that good stuff. Let me know in the comments. Click the like button to support Diablo 3 videos here on my channel, and stay subscribed because more is coming up soon. My name is Kinetic. Thanks for watching this video. See you next time.